start off by asking you, do you understand yourself when it comes to your relationships? Do you understand your personality and how you are teaching people how to treat you? I'm going to share 5 reasons why you should create healthy boundaries. Now, as you begin to learn about your personality, how you're teaching people how to treat you, how you are showing up in your relationships, this is going to help you to have more healthy boundaries and healthier standards for yourself. And so you'll begin to understand, this is why I need to set a boundary, because you will learn more about yourself. It's so important that we begin to gain the habit of studying ourselves and studying who we are, how we are coming across in our relationships, how other people are perceiving us, what are the things we are subconsciously teaching people about us. And so I'm going to share with you why you need to set healthy boundaries, and here are the signs that you need to look for. The number one reason why you need to create a healthy boundary is because you're taking on more than you can handle. You find yourself just being overwhelmed, and you find yourself overextending yourself to the point of exhaustion. And if you find yourself in situations like this is a very big sign that you need to create a boundary. Taking on more than you can realistically handle is a way of avoidance. You may not be aware of this, but it's a way of you avoiding dealing with what's important in your life and really prioritizing what matters for you. So when you take on all of these responsibilities, all of these added tasks that can't realistically handle on your own, you are setting yourself up to be overwhelmed, to be exhausted, to be stressed. And so it's a sign of a lack of self-care and just a lack of awareness of what it is you are doing to yourself. And so it can also mean that you're putting other people's needs above yourself. So do you find yourself constantly doing things for other people, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, feeling like have overextended yourself? If you find yourself in situations like this is a sign you need to create a boundary. You need to set boundaries to begin to guide and protect you from overwhelming yourself. And the way that you can do this is by saying no to things that are too much for you to handle, and beginning to clear your plate and saying, I can no longer take on anything else in my life. If you know you have a purpose, you have a calling, there are things that you need to accomplish in your life. You can't afford to overextend yourself with all of these tasks that aren't leading to your fulfillment and your enjoyment of your life. Setting boundaries are your way of protecting yourself. It's your way of having more peace and clarity in your life, knowing exactly what it is you want, and not allowing yourself to be bombarded with all of these tasks that overwhelm you and exhaust you. The second reason why you need to create a boundary for your life is because you don't express your feelings about things that matter to you. You are holding in how you feel. You're not being upfront. You hear the saying, a closed mouth don't get fed. You are withholding how you feel. You're not expressing your truth. You're not being authentic in your situation. And therefore, you aren't being honest the way you're showing up in life. And a big reason you could be withholding how you feel is due to judgment or conflict. You don't want other people to judge you, and you don't want to create conflict. So you just hold it in. You suppress your feelings. You suppress your emotions. You're not being real and honest about what it is you're dealing with and how you're feeling. This is not helpful. This holds you back from living a life of purpose and authenticity. And so it's very important that you express your truth, that you create that boundary to say, I am no longer going to suppress my feelings and my emotions, but I'm going to be honest with how I feel. And I will speak to other people and let other people know this is what's going on. And I will express my truth and I will acknowledge my truth. And I will not allow myself to be in a position where I'm withholding myself from expressing my voice and who I really am as a person. And so this is important because a lot of times we don't always express how we feel because of fear of what other people may think, what they may say about you, how they may be upset with you, how it may cause conflict. But you have to let that go and you have to take ownership for your feelings and understand and honor your voice, honor your feelings, and be willing to express yourself. The third reason you need to begin to create healthy boundaries is because you are having trouble making decisions for yourself. You're constantly seeking out other people to get guidance and advice. You're struggling with making decisions for yourself. You don't really know what to do and when to do it. And so you're asking other people for their advice and for their guidance. Now, listen, at some point in your life, it's time for you to take ownership. It's time for you to learn decision making skills and learning how to gain more clarity and more confidence within yourself to make the proper decision for yourself. How can another person make decisions for you? You are a unique individual. Only you know what you need deep down inside. The purpose of your life lies within inside of you. Your soul, your spirit, the God in you that leads and guides you. No one can really understand or dictate what's best for you like you can. So as you begin to get more clear about who you are, again, studying yourself, listening to yourself, being aware of how you feel, what are emotions that you're dealing with, what triggers you, what causes you to feel joy, what causes you to feel pain, what are these meanings, where do they stem from? What are some of the things from your childhood that continue to show up in your adult life? Knowing these things are very important, and being able to have more confidence, more clarity, being connected and in tune with who you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and being able to say, you know what? This is the best decision for me. I don't need another person to tell me what I should and should not do because I'm connected with the essence of who I am and I'm able to flow and operate in that and knowing who I am and showing up as who I am as an individual. And that is so important to you and to the calling on your life. And so as you begin to let go of always seeking out other people's attention or decision making for your life, but being able to be confident in your decision making skills, being able to develop habits of making decisions for yourself and start slowly making those decisions, not always telling everybody what's going on with your life, because this is also important. Just getting in the habit of keeping things to yourself, of being silent, of going in and really connecting with your purpose and your truth and your and the ability to know that you are on a path for your life that is unique and is like no other. And yes, you can get advice from other people. Yes, you can, gain wisdom from other people. But in addition to that, you also want to be connected with your unique, true essence and soul, mind, spirit, body of you. There's only one you. So connect to who you are fully and learn how to make those decisions for yourself. Now, right now, I want to share a quote from my book, The Love Habit. And it says, pay attention to the contribution they are making in your life. Great relationships are a result of two people consistently choosing each other. As wonderful as it feels being in a romantic relationship and enjoying the presence of someone who expresses desire for you, it is also important to guard your heart and clearly understand the foundation of the relationship, it's best to separate how you feel about someone from how they feel about you. And that's from the love habit. And this quote is saying it's really important that you really get connected with not just how you are in a relationship, but also how people are receiving you in that relationship, and understanding that people see you differently than you see yourself. And so, as you gain more knowledge and wisdom of who you are individually, it's going to help you when it comes to your relationships, because the relationship you have with yourself will impact every relationship you have. And as you begin to grow and develop and just gain more wisdom about who you are as an individual, who you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, that is going to help you in the relationships you have with others. That will help you to begin to have healthier relationships, because you will understand the necessary boundaries that protect your peace and guard your heart. And you will begin to communicate that in your relationships. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and pre-order your copy of The Love Habit. It's available now for pre-order and releases on September 10th, 2024. The fourth reason why you need to create more healthy boundaries is because you often say yes to things you really don't want to do, and then you feel resentful afterwards. Now, this is a big deal because I struggled with this for years. Just saying yes because someone asked me to do it, even though I didn't want to do it. But I'm like, I'm going to do it because they asked me. I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want them to think I don't care, or I'm not supportive. So I'm just going to do it, even though I did not want to do it. This habit can cause you to become more of a people pleaser, where you're constantly doing things just for the approval of other people, and you're not really honoring what's best for you. And I can say I am still dealing with this to a certain extent, but I've grown tremendously. For example, I had two different people invite me to an event, and it was kind of a networking type of business event. And one person invited me last week, and another person invited me a couple of days ago, and the event was actually yesterday. Originally, I said yes, but then after I realized my schedule and all the things that I had prioritized on my list and what I needed to do, I decided not to go to the event. Now, could they get mad because they invited me and I didn't show up? Possibly. But also honoring myself and being able to say, no, I'm not going to go, and just not doing it at all because I don't want to do it, because I have other things that are top priority on my schedule and on my list. And that's more important. And just being able to say no and to not show up sometime and to deny, people's requests is part of the process of having a healthy relationship, not only with yourself, but even with other people, because they need to know your truth. They need to know that you are not wanting to go, or you're just not going to go, or you're not going to say yes because they're asking you. But there are times when you will say no. And this is important. As you do this, you may hurt some people's feelings. Now, don't get me wrong. It may cause you to, have some issues in relationships. But guess what? The more you say yes to yourself, the more you prioritize your needs and your desires, the more that you will have this inner confidence, this inner assurance, where you can have trust for yourself. Because that's the most powerful thing, is to be able to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your judgment of things and situations. And to have that creates inner safety. That creates a level of trust within. And so you're not just chaotic, because of everything that's going on around you. So if you're having a hard time saying no, you need to begin to think about the boundaries that you can start setting up in your life by letting people know that no, I am not available. Some of the things you can do is to begin to write out your priority list. What are the things you need to accomplish each day for your own celebration, for your own self-confidence? What is important for you? And put things on your calendar in advance so that when people reach out to you, you already have other obligations and you let them know I'm not available. Thank you so much for inviting me. But this is important going forward, and this is something that I'm continuing to work on, and I encourage you to do the same. Finally, the fifth reason why you need to create more healthy boundaries is because you find yourself in situations that are not important to you and they leave you feeling drained. That goes again from what we was just talking about in the previous reason, but just finding yourself in situations that aren't important to you, that you don't value, and it drains you. Why does it drain you? Because things that you're excited about, it gives you energy, it pours into you, it cultivates this feeling of excitement in your life. But things that you are feeling drained about, it's a sign that this is something you're not excited about. It's depleting you. You're just doing it. You're going with emotions. You're doing it to people please. Maybe you're doing it to feel important or to make other people proud, but it doesn't make you proud. It doesn't fill you up. It drains you. This is when you got to get real with yourself and you got to take some action and you got to say no. And you got to put your foot down and say, enough is enough. Because if you don't put your foot down and say enough is enough, you're going to lose your authentic self. And you hear people say this, man, I feel like I lost myself. I lost myself in a relationship, in a job, in a title or whatever. And why did they lose themselves? They lost themselves because they kept saying yes to things that are unfulfilling, that drain them, that just took all the energy out of them. And so they feel lost because they don't have any excitement and they don't know where to find the excitement. And someone may ask, well, what makes you happy? What do you enjoy doing? And it's very difficult to name 5 things that you really enjoy doing because you're drained, because you don't have the excitement for those things, because all of the things that you've been spending your time doing has been about other things, other people, and other situations that don't light you up. And it's time for you to begin to make decisions and take action in your life, your sacred life, the life you have right now, to live and thrive. It's time for you to take action towards the things that light you up. So I want to hear from you. What boundaries do you need to set? Let me know in the comments. Also, click the link in my description to go ahead and pre-order your copy of The Love Habit. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, I want to encourage you to like it and share it with others who may need to hear it as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.